Hey everybody, Rick B from String Theory Studios. Here is some cool knowledge for you. We're just going to replace some strings on a floating Floyd Rose Special. It's going to be really easy, kind of just a little task you do. The better you do it, the better you sound, so just take the time and do it right. Come on, we're going to dive right in. Before we even start taking off the strings for these fine tuners, I want you to just even them all out, kind of get them all nice in the middle here, and then we'll start taking off the strings. Placing them with these Slinky Cobalts. They say they're high output. I've already put 4 of them on. I'm gonna show you how to put one of them on just in case you haven't replaced strings on a Floyd Rose Special before. So I'm gonna put on the D string here. This is a 24. There you go, let's check it out. So a lot of people, they'll take this string out and they'll cut this metal ball off. But instead of cutting this metal ball off, what we're gonna do instead is we're just gonna kind of bend it around until we finagle it out. Yeah, because as soon as we get that ball out, we'll actually end up with a cool little hoop that we can use later for the block and catch on. And out comes a little ball. Leaves you with a hook on one end, which is perfect for the saddles. Alright, to get the old string out of the way, all we have to do is I've got a little hex hider back here. This thing is very cool. It just goes on the back of your guitar, magnetic, sticks to the machine head, no problem. As you can see, well, bam, pretty neat. Alright, we're going to use that to loosen these up. I've already got them all loosened, but if you haven't seen them loosened, all you do is a couple turns on each one, and you'll have them all loose. I don't like to keep them off, because then I have little parts everywhere. I just keep them on there just loose enough. Alright, so I'm going to be doing our D string here, so the D string is nice and loose already. Here it is on the peg. Just going to loosen it a little bit at the peg, and then I'm going to have to loosen this one to loosen up the block at the back. It doesn't take a whole lot loose, just a little bit and you're good to go. You can see the string's nice and loose. I'm going to apply some force on my whammy bar and loosen up that block at the end. So this is just going to loosen up a little plastic block at the end. Alright, so now it's nice and loose. I'm going to keep my finger over that because I don't want it to fly out when I pull the string out. Right? So if I don't, that thing can fly out and I lose it. Now you can see I got that string off. This should all just pull through and I can unwind the post. But there you go. I like to wind that up, put it in the old package, get it out of the way. Alright, before I said we had that little hoop, we're just gonna put it right in the saddle. Here we go. Smack it right in there, good to go. It won't go in all the way, it'll go in a pretty good amount though. That'll give it a lot to grip on, so it's perfect. Now I've got it in there as much as it'll go. Tighten that block right back down on it. That's going to keep it in there nice and tight, good and secure. There you go. It's all ready. It's in there nice. Now I'm going to thread it through on this end. As I said, I don't like to take these off and I have extra parts everywhere, so I'll just thread it through. Thread it through your peg. There it is. I like to keep it in line, so I'm just going to line it up. Alright, now that you got it through, here's the cool trick. You just give yourself about 1.5 inches, right? Just feed that back through. That's going to be all you need to wind that string up. And now I'm going to Luthiers knot it. It's a super easy trick. This is going to really lock it in there, so when I'm winding this string, I don't have to worry about it slipping and going anywhere else. And I have a winder here, so I'm actually just going to grab the winder. And there it is. If you keep that finger right at the bottom of the peg, you're going to find that it coils itself nice and neat. And as soon as it gets tight, you're good to go. That's going to keep it kind of ready. There you can see nice uniform stack around there. Let's see if you can see that in there. Nice uniform. Beautiful little lock on there. And you're all set. You just cut off that excess. Before I cut off that excess, I like to bend it down. as much down as I can do it before I cut it off. That's just gonna make sure that I don't have a big sharp piece sticking up and that sharp piece is actually sticking down. And then I get real close to the peg and I just cut it off as close as it goes. There you go. And as you can see, it's on there really nice now. Looks really good. And it's all set. Alright, and after I put on that D string, I'm going to head and tune all the strings. And what I like to do with my floating bridge is I like to tune them in a certain sequence. I like to do my E's first. And keep in mind, I kept the nut unlocked up here. So I'm actually going to use these tune pegs up here. Alright, the E's are good. Then I'm going to tune up the A and the B. So I'm going to tune the D. And after I tune D, I'm going to tune G. So I had kind of a sequence there. And after I do that, I do it again. So I'm going to tune the E's. That A looks good. That one's good. I'm going to tune the A. A is good. Going to tune B. Going to tune D. Good. And G. Alright, I'm back in. I have one more string to change, so I'm going to change it. Alright, last string to do. This is going to be the G. I'm just going to loosen it up here. I've already unlocked it at the locking system. So the locking nut is already loose. All that pressure's coming straight through. There you go. Move me out of the way. Alright. Take my hex hider. There it is. Put it on the back here. Loosen up my third string. That's the G I'm on. Loosen up that block. Remember, once that block's loose, you don't want it flying out when you take the string out, so just hold your finger over it. So when you pull that string out, it doesn't send it flying. Alright, it's in there. Now I can just thread it on through, unwind it from the peg, and I'm all set for the new string. Alright, there you go. I like to wind these up so they don't get lost. Kind of hard to find when they're on the ground. There you go. Here's my new string. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finagle this end off. Here's a cool trick I like to do. I like to hold the ball with my string cutters. Instead of cutting it, I just hold it on there and I wiggle it around until it comes loose, and that ball's going to come right out of there. There you go. Now I've got the ball out. Didn't have to do any cutting. Some people might say cutting's easier, but now I have a whole lot for that string to grip on. A big old loop and a wind. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and pop it down in my saddle as far as it'll go. Crank on that whammy bar again. Get me right back in there. Tighten that block up. The block's nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. You can feel instantly that the string is snug. Send it through the lock and nut. I don't like to take these off. It'll just be loose extra pieces. So I just keep it on there, send it through. Line up my peg hole so that everything's nice and lined. Just makes it easier for the wind. There you go. Alright. Now I've got the string in there. See if I'm still on the screen here. Scoot it back a little bit. There we go. Alright, I'm going to take about 1.5 inches, feed it through. That gives me all the slack I need for the string. And here's the luthier's knot. I got both sides. I'm going to bring this around and under the string I'm working on. So there you go. You can see I kind of around and under the peg. These thin strings are hard to work on, so just keep it tight. There you go. I got it nice and under there. It's under the string. I'm going to pull it as tight as I can, so you just get a good grip on it. Pull it. And then I'm going to go back up and back around. Did you see that move right there? So now I have it nice and locked. And with that, I can just start cranking down, and I know that string's going to be on there It's stuck on there now really well, and all I do is crank down. Alright, now for the rest of the string, it's still under here. I still have to keep some pressure here. I can hold the pressure here if I want. I actually like to hold it up here, so I'm just going to keep my thumb on there as I crank it down and grab a winder, and here we go. That's it. That'll crank right through. Now if I keep the pressure at the bottom of the peg with my thumb, it should all wind up nice and uniform. I shouldn't have to do any adjusting. It should just wind right up. Alright, I'm feeling the pressure. And there you go. I'm in. You can check that out. It's a nice wind. Everything is in line with itself. It's locked on there very well from the knot. I can just depress this excess down so I don't have anything sharp poking up after I cut it, and then I'm just going to cut it straight off, and that's going to leave me a really nice string. Alright, now we'll tune it up, level out that bridge, and it all should be playing nice. Alright, so I got that other string changed now. I'm going to go ahead and tune the very last string that I need to tune up. That's the G I just put on. But before I even tune that up, I'm actually going to go through and just tune them all one more time. Alright, so we've retuned it. We've checked it out. The bridge is nice and level. Everything looks good. We're just going to lock it back up. Now with these, make sure you don't over tighten them. Just a little snug is all you need. It's just going to clamp down on that string, so when you do your cool dab bombs, your elephant noises, all that cool stuff, everything up here stays good. Now down here is already set. We've already set it up. We just put our hex hider right back there where it needs to go, and we're ready to start playing. After we tune it up using the fine tuners, now that we evened out before at the very beginning, we're going to go ahead and use them to fine tune our tone here. G came up a little short here. We're going to lock it up. There you go. And after you tune once, just tune it again. Make sure nothing's coming up even a little bit flat, because you want everything to sound good. Alright. Now these strings are probably going to adjust for the next week. But to help speed it up, I'm going to go ahead and string stretch a little bit. So now this is a good little technique I like to use. I like to grab the string with my finger and my thumb and just give it a good stretch all along its length. There you go. And I'll just grab the next one, do the same thing, and my goal is just to hit all six with a nice little pinch. Kind of release some of those coils in there. There you go. This is going to detune it again, but it's going to be for the better, right? Because I don't want to keep detuning when I'm playing solos, and I don't want to have to wait a week for these things to adjust, or however long they decide to take. So there you go. I've got them all ready to go. Give the whammy bar a couple wiggles there. Make sure it's nice and set in. Now we're going to tune it up again. So here we go. Let's tune it up again. There's the bridge. I didn't even have to adjust it. The same gauge strings and this method just kept it just right. Alright, we've got it all set out. The bridge is level. Let's see how it sounds. Alright, thanks for watching. If I helped you out, please just smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. Also, you can check out this really cool backpack behind me. If you go to stringtheorystudiosllc.com, and join our newsletter. You are entered to win this cool backpack.